Alright, tis I. I'm reviewing like four things today. I didn't want to put my bed up, so I'm standing. So you get Tear Clear Toomey poster and Lady Liberty poster with gay flags colors or whatever like that, queer colors, whatever. But anyways, yeah, I'm just out here reviewing, and I'm kind of sick still. I've been sick the last couple days, so anyways, but I was like, yo, I gotta get up. I gotta review things, so I'm gonna review things. Okay, should I just do a like a big four review maybe? But anyways, I'm gonna do not Stargate Continuum. I'm gonna do Glen Powell's How to Make a Killing. It's A24. A24 don't miss. This movie was good. All A24's movies are always like really good. I thought the movie my first like just the big review I have is I just thought it could have been better. I finished out like, the whole time watching it and the ending. Like I don't think it was necessarily a script. I think they just could have been like a twist or two, or maybe an additional character or something, just to make it a little bit interesting. But Margaret Qualley is always good. I like her. Glen Powell is always a rock star. I like him. And Jessica Henwick, she was like one of the love interest in there. She was good. I really like those three characters. I really liked how fun and exciting the story was. Yeah, well, I didn't look up who wrote the screenplay, so I guess whatever. Even though it was a good screenplay, let me see here. I guess who wrote the screenplay for How to Make a Killing? Waiting. Okay, hold up, I'm gonna try again. Who wrote the screenplay for How to Make a Killing? John Patton Ford. Oh, he was also the director. So the writer-director wrote it, John Patton Ford. I mean, I thought it was just solid. I don't know what else to say. And A24, it's always going to be good and interesting. So I feel like I did enjoy it, but I feel like the thing that I have left, or I feel like the thing I have most to say is that, like, I feel like the movie could have been better. I feel like it was I feel like it was fun, but there's not enough interest or not enough, like, intense thriller, whereas I feel like there could have been a little bit more just, even not even what I'm thinking of. I feel like there could have been a little bit element of something else and possibly room for another character, and had the movie be a little bit longer since it was so enjoyable and fun. I feel like it could have went the distance and just went longer. Like I was just there to enjoy it. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. But I will say that the whole like marketing for it wasn't that good. Like that's something A24 kind of does, where like the marketing for something will be like, meh, could have been better, you know? Where like they don't really have strong, like I remember this for Tenet. Like when Tenet came out, the marketing was like so confusing. You didn't know what it was basically, you know? Or they should have marketed it as like an action thriller, heist movie or whatever, but they didn't. They marketed it as like, oh, this thing you have to watch. And it was during COVID. It was like people didn't want to leave their house because they were scared of COVID, or they were forced to stay inside. And then two, like, to me, I just don't think marketing works if it's a mystery unless it's a horror movie. Because they have a like solid diehard fan of people who go no matter what, basically. And the whole kind of point of horror movies is the reveals of these things, basically. You know, so you don't want it spoiled. But I feel like most movies, like not like Fast and Furious and things like that, where you're spoiling every scene. But even Fast and Furious, it's such a spectacle. Like they can ruin like 80% of the movie, and you're still amazed by when you see it. I just feel like there's always just not enough clarity on like what you're paying your money to see. And I feel like sometimes they're deceptive things, whereas like they're and Timothy Chalamet's Willy Wonka did that, where they're like, this is not a musical, and then it's like, well, and all marketing in itself is kind of always a little bit deceptive, you know, especially when it comes to movies. But my thing is, I feel like if you're more straightforward about the movie, you know, like, and if you don't think the movie's gonna work out, right? don't make the movie. You know, find another script, find another producer, find another director or writer or whoever it is to make something that you think people will pay the money for. And there are movies that just aren't going to make any money. They're not going to be mainstream because they're too challenging to the status quo or society or whatever it is. So like there are movies you're just going to take a loss on. So make the movie and advertise for the movie. I just don't think it's just like, I don't know, like Hollywood again, they like sell out for like authoritarian countries and controlling, super extreme controlling bad governments and stuff like that and make extra profit. We won't tell this story, we won't do this thing. Disney's out here removing like gay kisses and stuff like that too, or just you just won't tell like stories about homeless people or things like that. They just, or like a military person with PTSD that's more like of a drama. They're just not telling the stories that need to be told, where I feel like in the 80s and 90s they did it all the time, right? But nowadays you're dealing with all these filmmakers who spend all their time on the internet and not enough walking outside, not enough talking to people outside in the real world, where we're just getting and we're getting corporate powers just pushing everyone down. We're just getting so much formulaic slop and AI garbage and just so lack of emotion and and that's what movies are. They're about emotion. It's a motion picture sound show. It's about the motion of people, about emotion, about characters that are interesting, not just symmetrical face or just some sort of just view of beauty or whatever like that. And then like all the sync licensing, it's always an 80s, a 90s, or it's always like the 70s, 80s, or 90s where they're like sync licensing all these like hair metal rock bands or whatever it is, all these like old 80s like people that are dead. It's like, stop giving a showcase to people who are dead, right? I'm tired if we go 50 years into movies, you keep hearing a sound from a band from 1980, bro, or 1970. Bro, pick new music. There are millions of new artists, right? And I just feel like A24 didn't do this, but just kind of just my rant on the Hollywood and the movie industry and just the world in general and stuff like that. It's just like, let's be innovative and let's push forward into the next generation, but let's support new artists. Let's support, let's create, you know? I feel like there's such a lack of creation and things like that. And shout out to A24, because A24 does create things, you know, and they make new things. They're trying to put more art house, more artistic vision, but I feel like Hollywood as a general just doesn't do that, you know, and it's super frustrating. And like, yeah, like it's like it has to be changed. There has to be a new wave of filmmakers that actually care, and it's not just about cinematography, it's about storytelling, it's about creativity, and it's about creating art that's never been created before, or adding a new twist to something, you know. And stop. I don't want to hear another 80s soundtrack, another 90s soundtrack when we're in 2026, bro. It drives me insane. But anyways, Glen Powell, this A24, How to Make a Killing was enjoyable. I just really liked it, but I just felt there was something missing. Something could have been there. But I think it was just maybe another character, another like interesting segment would have been a lot more fun for me. But I did enjoy it. I think it was watchable and very solid. I just thought like the marketing should have definitely been better. That's kind of my only gripe, is that the marketing I feel like was not like, oh, go watch this now. It's just like, hey, this movie about a thing, blah blah blah, you know. And it was a voiceover movie. Like, voiceover movies should sell because anybody can watch it at any time and kind of jump in and follow it, you know. And I thought the narration by Glen Powell was really good. I just really liked the cast of Margaret Qualley, Jessica Henwick, and Glen Powell. I thought it was very enjoyable. I thought the plot was fun. I thought a lot of the dynamics were very interesting. And I thought, again, this movie is just really fun. It's kind of like whimsical and a laugh the whole time. And I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. But I just left the movie thinking like, like it's missing a pinch of salt here and there. And it would have been a lot better to me. Just by like, I don't know. And I did enjoy the ending. I just feel like a lot of like the way they put the movie together, there's more. I just want to know more. I guess like I just want to know more about the story, more about the world, more about like Glen Powell's character in the movie. I feel like they kind of glossed over it, and they didn't really go into why he wanted the money. Like, you know, it's like, and the movie kind of says it. It's kind of just vanity. But like, he cares a lot and he does a lot of things besides when he's not killing, where he just has a lot of emotion. He's like, seems like a genuine guy. So him doing this doesn't seem like it fits. And I think that's kind of where watching the movie, I was like, I don't know. It seems kind of forced. You like it's forcing you like you have a good character, and then you have the story, and you're just trying to jam them together. You never really like, should we do this? Should we not? And that's my only critique. But I thought it was enjoyable. I think it's definitely something to watch. It's definitely going to be a TV movie that's like, hey, this is on. Let's go watch it, you know. It's like a premium rush type movie where it's like, hey, it's on, you know. And I always used to say, like, Premium Rush was my 3 Times and Never Again movie. But, like, I don't know. It's just, if it's a really good, like, again, like, it's good. The movie's good or it's bad. And if it's good, you'll probably watch it, you know. There are movies that are like, this was passable, you know, but you'll still probably watch it, you know, whereas, because The Man on the Ledge, the movie I watched so many times, and I was like, this is my Premium Rush 3 Times and Never Again, but it's just a really solid movie, and like, I don't know, like, it's not perfect, it's not bad, it's just a reliable go-to that just never fails, and those movies, I think, can have a longer shelf life than just movies that are, like, better, because it's just like not involved, you know. You don't have to be there watching 3 hours of The Godfather, or like Schindler's List for 3 hours sitting in your chair, or like The Green Mile, or like, it just requires so much. And it's not that it's not a good movie. Obviously, they're all masterpieces, amazing. It's just like sometimes you just want to turn it on, enjoy the thing, and walk away, you know. So How to Make a Killing, A24. A24, Lionsgate, Blumhouse, Black Bear, all the horror movie studios, all the mid-tier studios are the studios I really like because they make movies to make movies, and they're not like the big studios that like make movies sometimes to make movies, but it's more profit-driven. Yeah, I don't know. A24, you're the best. One of the best. My favorite probably is Lionsgate though, but A24, you're the best. Keep doing good stuff. You guys are awesome. Shout out to the writer-director of this thing, if it's in my, and yeah, Glenn Powell put butts in seats, Margaret Qualley put butts in seats, Jessica Henwick, good job. Yeah.